How are you all doing this morning? And good morning to everyone out there online and everyone in the sanctuary today. It's Halloween. We don't usually get to do Sunday morning Halloween, but it's kind of been fun this morning. So I would like to start with our affirmation and prayer. I think I'm moving too much. Our affirmation is, today I am open and receptive to exploring a variety of ideas. Before you say it out loud, I want you to think about that because I'm going to ask you to look at some things that might challenge you today. Some things that might challenge you about what your beliefs are and how that's impacting your life. Okay, so ready? Let's say it out loud together. Today, I am open and receptive to exploring a variety of ideas. And we take that into prayer. We are open and receptive to receive information about ourselves, about the universe, about God, that we may not have been able to have heard or to have taken in before. And so today we are willing to say yes to, let me hear a different perspective. Let me hear a different challenge. Let me see through a different lens. Let me see from a different angle, a different position. And as I open myself up, I also hold this community in prayer. We hold prayer for the right and perfect minister who will be coming our way soon. We hold prayer for the search committee, for the board, and for that minister. And we hold prayer for those in our community who have made some major life decisions and are moving out of state. We hold them in prayer as they prepare to sell houses and to find new locations and to actually make the travels. We hold prayer for those who have done that already as COVID has brought to light the desire to be closer to families. We hold prayer space for those who are moving here to be closer to families and hope that they find the right and perfect church home. And hopefully, if they're in this area, they will visit Unity of Mesa. And so we open ourselves to being receptive to all that comes forward, knowing that we are divinely supported in all of our words, our thoughts, and our actions. And we close with amen. So welcome to Unity of Mesa, where we enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift our world through a greater expression of God. And I would like to introduce first. I'm going to introduce our children. We've got one more coming up, I see. What a way to welcome you, get welcome to church. Good morning. Would you like to join us up here? Would you like to join the other kids up here? Okay, awesome. You can hold on to it if you want, or you can put it right there. Okay. Oh, and we've got another little one who wants to be in on the fun. So you can just sit down right here with the other kids. And I don't know how many of you had this experience when your kids were little, but you know, Halloween's more important to them than Christmas, right? Yeah, it's a pretty exciting day. So I'm really excited that they're spending their morning with us. And I'm going back to, I am Reverend Judy, I'm serving as the minister at Unity of Mesa, and I'm in my 10th year now. And we have joining me this morning, besides our children, we have Candee Lewis and Stephen Chavez are our musicians this morning, and they've been kind enough to engage me and find a children's song to do this morning. We also have Bob Baker, who is our board member of the day. And meditation is Julie Treblon. And we're so excited to have everyone here. And people who are still coming in, come in and join us. And everyone should have a little piece of paper. If you don't have a little piece of paper, raise your hand right now. Did you get one? Did you get a little piece of paper? Yes, all right. So everyone needs a little piece of paper because you have to be childlike. You know, Jesus says you have to be childlike to come into an understanding of what his teachings were. And so we are going to be childlike today, and everyone's going to get to participate in our skit. But before we do our skit, Olivia has something to say to you. She did. She called me, she contacted me, and she said, I want to do a food drive. I want to collect food. And it became a pretty big deal, didn't it? So I think we've got a slide that will show up with the rest of the food. We brought some food over so Olivia could bless it. And would you like to talk a little bit? I believe this mic is on.
So on that first Sunday when we started collecting food, there was already so much of it. Yeah, there was a lot of it. It was really cool, and throughout that week we continued to pick up food, and some right there. And I talked to Judy Renfro, who was visiting from another church, and she talked about putting the food drive on Just Serve to put it out to the whole neighborhood and other places. So we met up on one Saturday morning, I forgot the exact date, and we just walked around the neighborhood with wagons to pick up donations. And when we came back, there was so much of it that we were able to fill up 3 huge dump truck loads. And we gave to actually 3 different places. Ours for United Food Bank, another one for Midwest Food Bank, and one for the Valjean Society. So we brought all that back, and it was really cool.
Want me to hold this while you bless it? You get to say it. So she's going to bless the food that's going forward to the rest of the food that's going on. The annex room was full. It was amazing.
We bless this food and are grateful for those who helped by participating in this project, and we bless those who are receiving it in their time of need.
And so it is. I have one more question. How old are you?
11.
So I will tell you, she put this all together. I made some connections for her, but she instigated. She made the connections, and she had a dream that she had sat with about doing something good in the world. So if an 11-year-old can do it, what can you do with your dreams? Just saying. Yeah, so can we give her some appreciation, and all the kids, because all of them helped? All right, and thank you all for supporting them and the good that we can do in the community this way. And it's been a blessing to do this. So we have a mini lesson today. And I'm just wondering, have you ever wondered about God? Where is God? What is God? Have you kids ever wondered about God? Yeah. Do you have an answer yet? Do you guys have answers yet? No? Okay, that's good. So, well, here at church, we think about God all the time and we talk about God. And I think, can we turn me off and I'll grab another mic? So we think about God and we talk about God a lot at church because I think that's kind of why we come here sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes. But we decided today to bring a special guest to our service to tell us what God is. We invited our grandma to come and explain it to us. And here she comes. As we get older, sometimes we don't get around too fast. So we're going to invite her to just come on up and have a seat right here. Thank you, Grandma. And you may want to take your mask off because it muffles in the mic. And we do want to thank you for coming to church this morning to tell us what you know about God. And we are going to ask everyone to help her tell her story. You all received a card as you enter today. See what the picture is on it. And just make note of that because you will be called to do something to help unravel this mystery of what is God. So let's begin our story by saying that one day all of the grandchildren came over to visit, and while they were there, they asked Grandma, "What is God?" Can all of you say that with me? What is God? So let's begin our story.
Long ago, people thought the sun was God, but now we know that the sun is just one big star in a big universe filled with millions of stars.
And the children asked, "What is God?" Can all the children ask? And whenever you hear me say, "and the grandchildren asked," then I'm going to invite you to say, "What is God?"
People have thought that God was an old man with a long white beard who sits up in the clouds and looks down on us all the time. But if you fly in an airplane above the clouds, you won't see an old man in a beard.
And the grandchildren asked, what is God?
Sometimes people think that if we are not good, God will be angry with us. But it isn't what the great teachers have taught us. They said that God loves us no matter what.
And the grandchildren asked,
"What is God?" Well, you can't see God or hear God in the same way you see and hear your friends. You have to find God in a different way.
And the grandchildren asked,
there is a way that you can find out what God is, and that is by feeling God. What is God? God is love. You can feel God when you look up in the sky and see a million stars.
So all of the stars, if you are a star, stand up. And the stars say, God is love. And then you get to sit back down.
You can feel God when you play with your dog or your cat.
So if you are a dog or a cat, please stand up. And all the dogs and the cats say, God is love.
You can feel God when you see a beautiful butterfly.
Butterflies, stand up. And say, God is love.
God is in the snowflakes.
Snowflakes, stand and say,
God is in the birds.
birds, stand up and say,
God is in everything, and that means you and me.
so everyone stand. And say together, God is love.
I think you got it.
Thank you, Grandma, for being here today and reminding us that God is love. And we do believe that as she leaves, she can even dance a little bit off the stage. And we thank Mary Haggerty for being a delightful participant this morning. Okay, we have a song, and it's for the kids too. So kids, can we stand up? We're going to do this one. I think you all know it. You can stand or sit, but please join in. It's an old time, long time favorite.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout, I am, I am. If you're happy and you know it, shout, I am, I am. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout, I am, I am.
All right, kiddos, we're going to go, you guys are going to go over to the annex and have Sunday school. And Miss Shannon is right back there with her ears on and her mask on and her whiskers on. So if you can go find Miss Shannon, and we will see you afterwards because I believe there's a Halloween party after church. Woohoo! And now we have announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, we have some announcements, a few things for you to know. First, a message for the males watching today. Gentlemen, if you're ready to awaken your impact, inspire change, and attract the relationships and abundance you want, then I invite you to join Reverend Judy for the Art of Masculine Presence. It's a training, and we're excited to offer this first-time event to our Unity community in order to support our men as they explore at a deeper level their relationships, hidden shadows, fears, and dreams. This is a 3-day workshop for men ready to do their work. Full details are online or pick up a flyer in the bookstore. Do you ever feel incomplete? Join Dennis Hubert for an online experience of discovering wholeness within. This class, am I coming through? It's off. Switch is on the bottom. Yeah? Hello? I'll try another. How's that? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll start that one again about Dennis Hubert's class. It's about discovering wholeness within. The class is based on Robert Bremé's book, The Quest for Wholeness, and it allows you to discover your own innate wholeness and learn how to apply it to your life situations. On December 4th, our Gong meditation facilitator, Gretchen Bickert, and Reverend Judy will hold a workshop, Healing Our Grief. This healing workshop is for anyone who has lost a dear one, including a long-time pet, and is still struggling with grief. You can find details, dates, times, registrations, and more on all of these classes and events on our Things for You to Know page at unityofmesa.org. Registration for Sangha 2 and the Art of Masculine Presence and the Grief Workshop, the New Year's Eve drumming are also available in the bookstore. And for 2022, save the date, Daniel Namod will be here January 9th for the Sunday service and a concert. Thank you to all of those who are underwriting this event. And now we have our board member, Bob, for an announcement.
Nominees for the board are Jean Bettis, Erica Bowman, and Stephen Chavez. The vote on these nominees will be during the annual meeting on November 14th. This will be a virtual meeting on Zoom starting at 12:15.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing your love and light with us this morning. Please know that your soul is welcome here. And now let's share our guiding statement to remind us why we come together. Say with me, we are here to experience more of the fullness of who we truly are in order to transform the world. All are welcome here. We'll prepare for meditation now. Like many of us, I like to start my morning with reading the daily word. It's simple, it's short, and it gets, for me, to the heart of what the thought is for the day. Did you know that that's been in existence for nearly 100 years? It began in 1924. And this is a quote from the Unity website. Because Unity encouraged the use of affirmations to positively change one's thinking, the word, in daily word, refers to meditating on an affirmative idea daily. And you may have noticed that the affirmation for each day of the month is summarized in a single word. They have a little calendar there with a single word. It can be brought down to that. And we know that there's great power in words, even in very simple words. This morning, I'd like us to create our own simple affirmation to take into our meditation. So first, let's choose a word that represents something that you'd like to develop or explore, or simply have more consciousness of in your life. For example, it might be light, joy, or peace. Or you could use one of the 12 powers, maybe wisdom or love, strength, faith, imagination, or understanding. Take a few moments now to allow your word to come to you. And go ahead and close your eyes if that helps. So hopefully you've got a word. If not, it's okay. Just let it be whatever it is. But go ahead and relax into your seat. Get comfortable with your posture. Take a deep cleansing breath. Now let go of saying your affirmation. Let go of all thoughts. Let go of all words. Just focus on your breath, your deep, quiet inhale and exhale, and sink into that holy place within as we go into our time of silence. We return now to this place, this room, this time, moving a little and opening our eyes. And we close our time of meditation. May the God who knows us and who is with us and is us unfold our affirmation for our highest good and the good of all. Let it be so, and amen.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So now that we've all gone deeper, I'm going to bring us back up to our heads. Sorry. So this month, we're finishing up in the Stillness and Beyond, which was all about communion and about communing about connecting. How about that? Connecting with a greater power. And last week, Arn talked about a three-legged stool. Mindfulness that Erica had discussed, meditation practice that Karen had discussed, and prayer practice that Arn brought to you last week. And I propose that that three-legged stool sits on a rug. And in that rug are the woven fibers of our belief about God, our belief about ourselves, and our belief about life in general. And without that rug underneath, those three legs aren't nearly as stable. They might slip or slide on the hard floor. So many years ago, I worked with a book, and I can actually say that I probably was an atheist most of my life. So coming into ministry was not part of my dreams, not part of my vision, and having mystical experiences show up in my life created a 180 turn. But I had a hard time saying God. And I remember sitting in church over Unity of Divine Love, and we were doing call and repeat something, and I wouldn't say the word God. And the nice lady next to me leaned over and said, I don't like that word either. I use spirit. I went, I can do that. Because God had lots and lots of attachments to it. I'm seeing heads shake, so you know what I mean. Okay. So anyway, I bumped into this book probably in 2014, How to Know God by Deepak Chopra. And so I'm sure most of you have heard of Deepak Chopra and know that he comes out of a Hindu belief. And it's a pretty heady book, but for me, it helped. So he talked about stages. And it's stages of God. And so he believes that there are 7 stages. James Fowler writes about the 6 stages of faith formation. Then we have, I'm thinking, the man who, it's just on the tip of my tongue and it won't come out, the man who really worked with spiral dynamics, and there's 9 stages in that because we've added choral to it. But we know that we move through stages, and as kids, as babies, we move through stages into adulthood, right? And we know that when we are in stages, we don't stay in the stage we move to. We move in and out of it, right? So think of if you've got a thumbsucker at the age of 2, right? And by the time they're 6, they've given up their thumb. But a new baby comes into the house, and all of a sudden your independent, well-voiced 6-year-old becomes a clingy thumbsucker again, right? They go back to the behaviors that supported them at some point. So we do that also. When a crisis hits, this God of unity and oneness is probably not the God I'm going to pray to, because I'm going to be in fight and flight if I'm in crisis mode. And so that God is going to shift for me. My God is going to change, because that other God is too nefarious. That's the right word. I can't touch it. I can't grab it. I can't hold on to it. But the God is a protector. I can see a God who's a protector. And all of a sudden I put on the white beard and I put on the white robe on him, and I've got something tangible I can hold on to. And that's the God I will probably pray to when I drop into a crisis. But it's not where I live anymore. It's not the stage I live in. But it was a stage I went through, probably like all of us. And like many churches, they go through that. And part of the reason I wanted to do this is I don't know how many of you have come to me with
I don't even know how to talk to my family because their God is so different than my God. I don't know how to talk to my friends. They go to this other church and their God is so different. And that's not where I am. And I don't get it. And so maybe if we understand some of the stages that all faith traditions go through or that are represented in all faith traditions, maybe that might help some of us. And in the book, Deepak Chopra says that we can peel away all layers of an onion, and at the center we will find emptiness. But if we peel away all the layers of a human being, at the center you will find the seed of God. And so we want to allow that seed to blossom and to grow. And I believe that God has to be known by looking in the mirror. How I see myself determines what becomes my God. And that's kind of a hard one to take. So you mean God changes? I can't touch it and I can't see it. So yes, God would change. Because it would change based on my perception. He, she, it, whatever we want to identify it as, would be based on our perception at the time, or our teachings that we're willing to sit in. So if my response in life is fight or flight, and have any of you ever been there? You go right to this part of your head, right? And all you want to do is run or fight, or some of us freeze even. Then we usually see ourselves as being in fear and barely holding on with survival at stake. Our God of our understanding, if we are at that stage of life, is a God who wants to protect. A God who protects like a mother or a father when we are in fear, barely holding on with survival at stake. And our need in life at that point is to survive. And so that God that we're going to pray to is very different than a God we might pray to when things are going really wonderful in life. The second stage they talk about is being reactive, being in ego mode. It's all about I, me, mine. And we see ourselves as capable, as powerful, and as accomplished when we're in that role, right? Because we're feeding the ego. God of our understanding in that role is usually a God that has power and might, a God with laws and rules, and a God that makes those laws and rules and serves over society, stems from this stage and is capable of power and accomplishment. We need in this stage to achieve, to accomplish, to compete. We all been in that stage? A little bit? Need to compete, need to be really good at our jobs, need to be the best, need to find things there where we can show up. Stage 3 is restful awareness. It is where we see ourselves as centered and calm. So at the end of the meditation and the song, how many of you felt centered and calm? You could see yourself there, right? And that God experience at that felt very peaceful, didn't it? Very peaceful. And there was awareness of being centered. There was an awareness of being calm. And in this stage, we need to feel we will not be swallowed up in endless outer turmoil. And so we come within a community to do this. And we've got the lights down low in the darkness. We've got our eyes closed so we're focused in. That's a need we have in this stage of restful awareness. It's a good stage to be in, to be able to drop into that. It's an easy stage to be in. Stage 4 is intuitive. And we see ourselves, if we're in that intuitive stage, if our response comes from intuition all the time, we see ourselves as growing and evolving. The God of understanding and forgiving is any God who encourages human beings to reach their full potential, and it stems from this one, from growing and evolving. And what we need is we need God to validate our inner world as good, which means we want to be hearing from God. We want to be experiencing prosperity, health, all of those things, because we are growing, we're evolving, and we're trying to feel it intuitively. And so we want a response back from God in this stage. And that's the intuitive hearing. Oh, I heard God speak to me. I know it is true. And it's a nice stage. It's a very nice stage to be in. It's a comfortable stage also. Stage 5 is creative. So if our response is creative, then we see ourselves as someone who makes personal dreams come true. How many of you have had those times when you've had this vision, this dream of something, and it's come to you? You just go, I thought it, and it happened, right? And that's a powerful feeling. And the creativity that comes with that is freeing. It frees us of restrictions and of constraints. The mirror of inspiration is the creator who made the whole world from nothing. Any God who inspires us to explore and discover is the God that will show up for us during this stage. And this God is someone who makes personal dreams come true. And we turn to this God out of our wonder at the beauty and formal complexity of nature. Our 6th stage is visionary. And if our response is a visionary response, then we see ourselves capable of working miracles. How many of you are healers? I know I've got a bunch of healers in this room. A bunch of you, right? And when you are able to put hands on somebody or create an experience for them that creates healing, it's a powerful feeling, isn't it? Yeah. Whether it's because you've studied hard and you've developed a skill set that will work within the medical field to heal, or if you have that intuitive nature of healing, or if you've done study with energy work and understand how to do healing with that. But you seem to be capable of miracles when you are a healer. And this God is a God who is exalted and delivers healing and miracles and is capable of that. And as we step into doing that ourselves, we step in closer and closer to unity with God and understanding, as Jesus said, that you can do all of this and more. It's that connection. We need, in this visionary stage, we need God to explain why magic can exist side by side with mundane reality. So how can God, acting through me or as me, or claiming it as it is me doing this, how can this happen, this miracle happen? And why can't it happen over here? Why is this part of our world so dark? And we don't see healing, we see horrible things happening. And yet over here, we have these daily miracles. And I don't have an answer for you, but that is the question that shows up in that stage, in that visionary stage. I can see so much more. I can see what it can be like. And yet this is what it shows up as. And so how do we take what we know, what we understand, and be able to work with that which is not at that level? And then the 7th stage that Deepak Chopra talks about is the sacred stage, being one with God. Seeing yourself absolutely as one with God. And I know many of you have tapped into that.
Very few of us, like probably none of us, live at that stage 100% of the time. It's pretty hard in this world to live at that stage. But the tapping into it and then coming back out and working with the other stages is a really healthy thing to be doing. Our brain knows we came from a speck of life as our source and origin, God of pure being, any God who brings us back into unity, into one with God, is the God of our understanding when we are living for however long we're able to do it at this stage. And we need God because without a source, our existence has no foundation. So if I am working in that visionary, sacred stage, my neighbor, who I really enjoy being with until we get into conversations, is living in fight and flight. We're so far apart in our understanding of God and how that works in our life, that's really hard and difficult to have a conversation, especially if one or both of us, we shut down and say, no, this is the way it is. Because it's not just this way. It's not just this way. It's the whole spectrum. So as you're working with friends, you're working with relatives, does this help at all to have this understanding that these stages are all there and we go through all of them? Sometimes we go through all of them in one day, but we usually have one that we have found that resonates with us, and that's where we operate from most of the time. But it's really important to be aware of that. Finding God is called awakening. To know God, you must consciously participate in making this exploratory journey. That is the purpose of free will. On the surface of life, we make much more trivial choices, but pretend they carry enormous weight. In reality, we are constantly acting out 7 fundamental choices about the kind of world that we recognize. We have the choice of fear if we want to struggle and barely survive. We have the choice of power if you want to compete and achieve. We have the choice of inner reflection if we want peace. We have the choice to know ourselves if we want insight. We have the choice to create if we want to discover the workings of nature. We have the choice to love if we want to heal others and ourselves. We have the choice to be if we want to appreciate the infinite scope of God's creation. So a fully awakened brain is the secret to knowing God. In the end, however, the 7th stage is the goal, the one where pure being allows us to revel in the infinite creation of God. This is the place which is both the beginning and the end of a process that is God. In this process, things like spirit, soul, power, and love unfold in a completely new way. Here, certainty can replace doubt. In the inspired French, Sion Weil once wrote about the spiritual quest. Only certainty will do. Anything less than certainty is unworthy of God. So as you continue on your journey, know that the language you use during your prayer time is a mirror to the level of awakening you are at during that particular time. Remember, we move through and then in and out of stages, just like that baby in that thumb-sucking stage. We do the same on our spiritual journey. So be aware of your need for God and what is in the mirror and your choice for seeking God and what that face looks like in the mirror. So today, what is your spooktacular God when you are in a crisis? What is your spooktacular God? And when life is easy, what is your spooktacular God? So happy Halloween. Happy playing with that whole concept of God and how it changes and how you change. because it is a journey and it is an evolution. Thank you for letting me share with you today.
An announcement from the board. Reverend Kathy has resigned her position due to ongoing health issues. The board has accepted her resignation and contracted Reverend Judy to serve as the lead minister for the next few months. We expect to see Reverend Kathy around a little later this year. We are abundantly blessed at Unity of Mesa. Living the Christ invites us to remember that we are connected to Source and life flows through us. We give as Source to what we care about and what we want to see thrive. As we give of our time, talents, and treasures generously, the work we do here prospers. There are many ways to financially support the spiritual community, indirectly through our Amazon affiliate website links and adding Unity Church of the East Valley as your favorite charity on Smile Amazon and Fry's Rewards, or directly using our Give online link, the Vanco link, or through credit debit card payments in the bookstore. All the info on how to give and more can be found on our website, unityofmesa.org. Now, please take your gifts in your hands. Holding your gifts in your hands, our hearts and our minds, we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the greatest expression of Spirit through the work of our ministry. And if you'll join us in our offering blessing, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you for the givers and the gifts.
Check, check. Can you hear me? God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life.
Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
'cause you are the very breath I breathe. And your perfect love created me.
Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
All right, so am I sending people to the garden or the annex? Nancy? Okay, so we're inviting everyone to take a little walk. It's beautiful out. Take a little walk. There's actually a little cut through on the back. There's a little bridge that goes over the gravel there. And go over to the annex. The kids have prepared hospitality for us over there. And they are doing some Halloween games. And if by any chance you brought any trick-or-treat things, grab them and take them over there so they can do a little bit of trick-or-treating. And we appreciate everyone who's supporting our youth and making them feel so welcome at church. And along with that, chaplains are available for one-on-one prayer. I see Sharon and John are both here, and they have stoles on. They're white and blue, so you can recognize them. And they would love to pray with you for anything that you are celebrating or anything that you would just like extra support with. And now let's stand together and close with our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful time. You can go out these doors and across. You can go out the front doors and across, and really hope you can spend a few minutes over there socializing and enjoying our kids. Thank you.